Talladega. The Aaron's 499 post-race show brought to you by Aaron Sales and Lease Ownership. Let Aaron's drive your dreams home today. Jimmy Johnson, who led 65 laps today, wound up for 15th. He's standing by with our Matt Yoakum.
Chris, it looked like at one point Jimmy Johnson was going to pick up his first plate win. First off, what happened to you picking your lane, and also did you see Junior's pass?
You know, Junior's pass is what got me shuffled out. I saw him come across the flat into 3 and almost body slammed the car next to me, and I moved up to miss it, and then I was hung out in the 3rd groove, and those guys all marched on by. But from where I was standing, it looked like he was below the yellow line. Don't know how or why he was down there, but I know anybody who ever passes down there gets black flags. So, and again, I need to see the video. I could be speaking about something that's wrong, but just from my vantage point, everything I saw out of the corner of my eye, that's what it looked like to me. But those guys were tough. You know, came back with a bent-up race car, which is absolutely impossible to believe that they could be that competitive. And we had a great day, and I just tried squeezing into a hole that wasn't big enough, and my own fault, and got turned around there at the end.
Jimmy Johnson, 15th. Now to Steve with his teammate.
Terry Labonte. Matt, Terry, your first top 5 in 28 races. Tell us about the closing laps. That was quite a shootout.
Well, it was. I'd have to watch it to tell you exactly everything that happened, but I don't know. We were pretty good there, and you know, in the right position there at the end, and we kind of got shuffled back a little bit. We worked our way back up, but it was a good finish for us. And we've had really good cars, I think, the last 2 or 3 races, and we've had some trouble, but today nothing went wrong.
Thanks, Terry. Good run. Let's go back to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve. We'll have a look at our GM winning moment and let you review the pass by Dale Jr. as Chevy congratulates Dale and the number 8 Monte Carlo on today's win. Another reason why Chevy says wherever there's a winner circle, we'll be there.
Makes 9 wins in a row at Talladega for Chevrolet.
I think the question I'd have is he didn't really have to do that. I mean, he had more room, I think, than he thought he was going to have. Matt gave him quite a lot of room, so he really didn't have to even go that low.
Let's go back to Steve with Kevin Harvick.
Well, Kevin Harvick, we saw you drop back to 14th and fight your way back to the front.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of got shuffled out there and may have made a bad decision and got stuck on the outside and had to kind of push our way up through there and got in the middle, and then it worked out, and you know, we got to the front and Matt went high, and you know, the obvious choice for me was to push Dale Jr. So, you know, if it was reversed, he would have pushed me. So I felt that that was the right thing to do.
Kevin, if you had another lap or 2, could you have gotten by the 8?
Not without help. There wasn't anybody going to pass anybody without some help. It's pretty much 2-3 wide all day long, so that kept the racing good up front. And just really proud of these GM Goodwrench guys. Had a good car all day long, and back and forth, and we had a good finish.
Kevin Harvick finishes 2nd.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. breaks Buddy Baker's record for consecutive wins at Talladega with 4. Dale Sr. has won 10 Winston Cup races here, leading all drivers all time. Well, Darrell, the folks that stayed with us from start to finish, they saw it all today.
Well, it was a great race. When you take out half the field 10 laps into the race and still have the kind of show that we had, that's a great effort on everybody's part. These guys banging on each other and fixing those cars and getting back out there, a lot of competitive spirit today.
And Larry, we did see a difference in where you pitted on that last green flag pit stop, but once the cars got back up to speed, things sort of sorted out with the same cast of characters.
Yeah, I mean, it did. Even though they were pitting on different laps under green flag stops and then pitting at different ends of pit road, yeah, when it was all said and done, everybody was back together. But I got to put a period on what Darrell said, and that's fixing these cars. I look at our top 5 finishers. 3 of those guys, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Elliott Sadler, and Ricky Craven, their crews had to make major repairs and numerous pit stops to get them in the top 5.
Here's a look at your results. Chevys 1, 2, and 5. In fact, all makes in the top 6 positions.
Saw Matt Kenseth doing what they need to do to maintain this championship form, Darrell.
Kyle Petty, that's a great run for him coming off of an injury.
He and his teammate John Andretti both in the top 15.
Good job.
Joe Nemechek, engine trouble, but was running at the finish. And with 27 cars in the big wreck, it's kind of amazing only 8 of them ended up quickly in the garage.
And a lot of really good contenders actually, you know, out of the race, and that's unfortunate.
Jeannie?
Elliott Sadler, last time I checked in with you, you had body damage and you were going to the rear of the lead lap. Where did you come from?
Well, they just built me a great race car. Yeah, we did have to go to the end of the lead lap. I was overheating, did have front end damage. Came in, no tires. They pulled the tape off the front, and I could get where I could run with those guys again, but to give M&M's their first top 5 in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, to give these guys that worked so hard in the fast shop and engine shop a good top 5 here at Talladega, it makes me feel good. We got a lot of great sponsors on this team with Pedigree, Ray Bestis, Coke, Juice, and UPS. It's good to have a good finish for everybody.
Congratulations, and just to drive that home one more time, first top 5 ever for the M&M's car in Winston Cup.
Thanks, Jeannie, and let's take a look at the points after 8 of the 36 races. Matt Kenseth, of course, came in your leader and stays there, but look where Dale Earnhardt Jr. jumps to, and Kurt Busch, another one of the Roush Racing teams, Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon, Hendrick Motorsports right there. With Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers here in the Hollywood Hotel as we wind things up, and a terrific finish. Some great driving by Earnhardt Jr. We saw in the pre-race show his coming of age, but how about that pass at the end that NASCAR said was right on? Were they right on?
This time I really believe they made the right kind of call, and I talked to several of the officials earlier this week about what had been happening, and they said, look, guys, we're going to try to err on the side of the competitor, and I think they made exactly the right call, because it was clear that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was going to be in position to get underneath Matt Kenseth at that time. He may have made just a little bit more of a move to protect from getting into that 17 car, but I don't think he did anything wrong to make that pass for the lead.
We're watching Junior grow up before our very eyes, and continuing. He is the dominator on restricted plate tracks. Next weekend, let's see how he does in Martinsville. Also, join us for Nashville, another full weekend of racing. Friday, Winston Cup qualifying from Martinsville, followed by the Busch Series qualifying from Nashville. That's on speed. Saturday, the Busch Series presented by Subway from Nashville, and Winston Cup practice on FX. And Sunday, NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net, presented by Smirnoff Ice Triple Black, and then Winston Cup racing from Martinsville on Fox as NASCAR returns next weekend across the Fox networks. And new to Winston Cup this season, of course, the McDonald's Drive-Thru Challenge, powered by Powerade. We've been keeping you updated on that. And pit stops, all pit stops timed, and the eligible crew, the shortest cumulative time, wins the weekly prize of $20,000. A season-long winner can cash in with $200,000. A crowd of more than 100 to 50,000 packing in here at Talladega to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. do what nobody has ever done before on this track, win 4 in a row at Talladega. The day began with the biggest one, 27 cars involved in a crash on lap 4, instigated by Ryan Newman. The crowd cheering Dale Earnhardt Jr. on, and in the end, he came through. Next week, Sunday, on FX. Be with us then from Martinsville, Virginia. For Jeff Hammond and our entire crew, I'm Chris Myers. Have a good week. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox, and congrats, Junior.